Well, good morning, everybody. Just working to get a couple of things set up here. This is my first broadcast on YouTube in many years. Maybe my first live broadcast. I only have a couple videos. I'm going to do a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 flight. Just working to get a couple of things set up here. This is my first broadcast on YouTube. Many years. Maybe my first live broadcast. Videos. Do a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 flight. All right, so let's just get started. I can tell you the goal here is to get a successful broadcast. I'm using Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and a few of the free tools available to us, as well as my paid tools. My paidware being I'm running FS Realistic Pro and Plus, and I am running a new camera system. Forgive me, I don't remember the damn name. Chase plane, yeah. So that requires the FS Realistic Plus. I fly VFR flights using my Cessna 172. This also has the 172 sound pack available in the store, Microsoft Store. And through trial and error, I came from Microsoft 2020, where I had a previous version of the 172 with a realistic program, which I think changed the flight model and other things so that it was a more of a state saving. And I was trying so hard to get that thing to work with 24, but it just does not. So now I'm back to the default out of the box Cessna 172. Together I put together, I'm also using Little Nav Map. Let's see if I can switch even to that thing. So I'm using the Little Nav Map. My primary flight planner is SkyVector, actually, skyvector.com. And I'll just show you here what's going on. So we're going to take off from Saltillo International. This is in Mexico. Nuevo Laredo. Ooh, that's not it. That's my alternate. Let me see here. I had a photograph of the airport diagram. MMIO. Okay, so I have to set that up as a window. Well, regardless, Mexico Saltillo Plan de Guadalupe International. Saltillo. Forgive my Espanol, not very good. No bueno. So anyway, we're using SkyVector here, and I simply plug in my starting airport, and my destination is actually Laredo in Texas, but I'm using a backup or alternate airport. in my flight plan as well. So let me see where that is. I'm going to arrive in Laredo, and if anything fails there, we can't land. We're going to go to Quetzalcoatl, back into the United States. All right, so let's get started here. Spend more time blabbing. These windows don't resize very easily.
I know it's going to be a good day when my favorite pilot is working. From dispatch to transporter, let's take these passengers to their destination.
I'm also using...
The passengers are ready to board. I hope you have plenty of room. It looks like they have gone crazy at the duty-free shop.
Pretty windy here today. I'm using NeoFly, which is a career-based program.
Transported from dispatch. All passengers on board. You can ask for the clearance to take off.
So if you're looking at the guy's back of his head, it's because I have a triple monitor set up and I can't figure out how to get this character mode without looking through his skull. It's pretty funny though. Let me see. For whatever reason, I'm not even looking at the right window. If I close that, this is my comms. My main window should be primary window number 1. We hope. There we go. So we're looking at the back of this guy's skull. That's no good. Sorry if it's, bothers you, but I can't fix that. I'm trying. All right, let's get back to entering the airplane. That might look a little better. So I put together a couple things here. Using my SkyVector, I've planned this flight, and I've also I have a Google Sheets VFR flight navigation log, which I've prepared, and I've done all these calculations. This is the fun, you can get hardcore mode of actually trying to work through the calculations. That's what I enjoy, using the performance of the aircraft and figuring out the gallons. Here's gallons per minute. Let me get over there. Sorry about that. So I don't know if you can see all this. I'm trying. Ugh. That's what happens in a first stream. You can't get the windows right. Resize. How do I resize this darn thing? Very frustrating. Resize output. Ay, ay, ay. Well, maybe that'll help. All right. So as you can see, so right here I figured out my courses based on the sky vector, and I plug in my desired altitudes. I grab the weather off the NOAA website for wind and temperatures, which is right here, for Laredo, Texas. And then I plug them into my flight log. I determine the speed, the actual estimated speed, and then the actual based on the wind direction. So I worked all this stuff out. I can plug this into my, using Google Sheets, which means I could look at it on my iPad as well, as if I had it in an actual cockpit. So let's get going. Also, I've used the Microsoft Flight Planner, which in SkyVector you have the ability to export your flight plan as an FPL, I think, which then, this is the crazy part, then I go into little nav map here, and I import the flight plan that I saved out from SkyVector, and then using little nav map here, I can go file export as a flight plan for Microsoft 2024. Once that's done, I can then go back to Microsoft, and using their online planner, I can easily import the flight plan directly into Microsoft 2024. The key to this, though, is that not only do I have all this information, but I can also load this in directly into my GPS. So let's see how that works here. VFR, aircraft, this is the route, and then we will go, can we load it? Alternate performance flight details. VFR payload briefing, knee board. I'll find it. Maybe it's just directly into my simulator. That'd be great. Let's open up that. Maybe it's in there already. Flight planner. And we'll go with route. We'll say open. Oh yes, that's what I did. So I saved it out from the Microsoft web page. Load from PLN file. And then I'll load from this PC, and we will go to G:, Where did I put it? Flight plan. There we go. Now we're loaded. We can send this directly to, I'm going to say avionics. All right, and we'll go to the performance page. Weight and balance. Today I'm carrying one passenger. So we'll do payload. We will do configure. Well, let's start out with the fuel. So I'm going to start with 26 gallons. That was my calculation, which is 156 pounds. So that's 75 pounds. Or we can just say 13, right? My seats. How to give away my weight without giving away my weight. My passenger is 205. And we have no cargo today. We got our 26 gallons of fuel. I calculated 26. That's also with a 10-gallon reserve for a total of 60 minutes. The POH of these usually says around, I think, 9 or 8, even lower. But this, in the sim, this plane tends to burn a little bit more. All right, let's load this up. Load immediately. Cool. We'll verify. Got the brakes on. I'm going to go to my checklist. I have a checklist in my hand. I don't use the onboard checklist, so before starting the engine pre-flight inspection, passenger brief. All right, buddy, we're going to Laredo International. There's more of a passenger brief, but you know, okay. Circuit breakers are in and checked. Let's see our cameras. Where are the cameras? That's too bad, man. Well, go to our instruments. Let's see what that looks like. I have to keep everything on my main screen. Pilot. This is chase plane. Just trying to get this thing running is a bit of a chore. Let's see if we can. It's looking at the wrong camera, or wrong. This might be a deal breaker. Frustrating. Given that I have a triple monitor, it's focusing on the wrong monitor. I might have to minimize this. Somehow we're back. All right, well. I'd like to resize this chase plane window. Do that. Hey, I'm learning with you guys. All right, back to the flight. Circuit breakers. Instruments. Yep. Circuit breakers are in. Fuel selector. It's on both. Fuel is on. Avionics are off. Brakes are on. We don't have carb heat. We're going to put the mixture to full rich. We'll crack the throttle for a good old simulator 1/4 inch, as they say. And we're going to turn on our beacon. Clear prop. Clear prop. There we go. Turn the fuel pump on. Fuel flow is good. Clear prop.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
We're at elevation here, so we're going to lean the mixture. sound output. Well, this is probably pretty loud. So let me get I'll be right back. I gotta get my headphone dongle so I can quiet this up for you. All right, that should be a little bit better. Let's see here. Minimize this. We'll do our tab here. Back to our flight planner and our route. Set our transponder to standby. Avionics coming up, mixture, seat belts, flaps are up. It's pretty hot in Mexico. We don't need to change the cabin temperature. Transponders on standby. Obtain my ATIS. This airport does not have an ATIS code, so we're just going to go with the tower 118.4, and they'll direct us to the proper runway. Tune that in. Wish I had a keypad for that. While we're here, we'll tune in a VOR. 116.1. See if that comes alive. Should be 112. Let's see here. 116.1. Saltillo. Got the wrong one in there. According to this, we should be about 048 on our way out, following radial. 048. So when that comes alive, we'll be able to find it. Our field elevation is 4778. Outside our trim. Altimeter. $4,007. 78. That should be roughly 1040. Appropriate for tax season. Barometric is 1040. That's in hectopascals, not inches. And our flight altitude we're looking for today will be 7,500. Autopilot is off. We will set that radio. Light switches, we will go taxi, put on the nav, beacons on, brakes are on. Okay, ready to go. Back to the pilot mode. Get our clearance. I know this takes a long time because I'm just not, I do this recreationally, I don't do this for a living. Alright, ATC, where are you? We want to depart probably to the east, northeast, we'll just say to the north.
Saltillo ground. Cessna Alpha, Sierra X-Ray Golf, Sierra ready to taxi. North departure.
Cessna Alpha, Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to and hold short of runway tree Fife using taxiway. Contact tower on 118.4 when ready.
Taxiing. Hold short runway tree 5 using taxiway. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
What happens if you do that? It's not good. I'm gonna look for a good spot to put this thing. Desktop audio. Turn that down a little bit. These little balls are supposed to direct me to the runway. I think they're wrong, so I'm going to go this way. According to the airport diagram. For whatever reason, the taxiways are not very accurate here in the sim. Look, it wants me to come back the other way. And it's going to be a bumpy ride because we're going to go off-road. This is not an actual runway. It's a closed runway is what this is. according to the airport directory, this thing off to our left is the taxiway, but it's not modeled here, so it's going to be kind of bumpy. You can see the image map underlaid here, but this thing thinks we're going off-road. We're going to take it low and slow. Got to slow it down here. How's our passenger doing? Ready to get the BOF bag out? There we go, a little better. I'm going to keep on going here. This might eat up all of my, I don't know where it's saving the video, but hopefully Drive C will survive. I close this window. Yeehaw! Never coming back to this airport again. Hey, I got the trees modeled pretty nice. Actually have palm trees. If you look in Florida, they look like the apocalypse melted them down. I don't know why they look good here, but not in Florida. I know it's normal to do a run-up. I'm not going to do a run-up. I'm already spending enough time. This version of the 172 doesn't care if you do a run-up or not. And since there's no performance loss, it just doesn't seem to matter. So, but if you want to do the flow, the proper run-up, that would be the right thing to do. You know, pick your battles. So this should be actually the hold short for runway 35. There's no sign, but I can see it from the aerial image. So we'll just stop here, make a quick call out to ATC.
Saltillo Tower, Cessna Alpha, Sierra, X-Ray, Golf Sierra. Ready for departure to the north at runway 35.
Cessna Alpha, Sierra, X-Ray, Golf Sierra. Altimeter tree 055 departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 5.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 5. Cessna X-Ray, Golf Sierra.
To the north. I know I should have had all this worked out. Do our well, that's interesting. My transponder's not working. How's that not working? I thought I checked those fuses. Transponder. Huh. That's why we check these things. Very interesting. Ah, forgot the avionics bus. Check that out. What a save. Put on our strobe, put on the landing light, off with the taxi, pedestal, that's good. Instruments, and we'll set the transponder, squawk 1200. I thought we had all that worked out. And we are ready to roll. A little bit of a back taxi here. Get back to 3.5. We have the clearance. By the way, if you didn't have any questions about the head tracking, I'm using Tobii eye tracker. It seems to be working fairly well with the chase plane. I've disabled the chat. No, I didn't disable it. I just don't know how to enable it. So I didn't do it. My first flight. We're just going to leave it off so I could pay attention about with all this stuff going on. Use all. Okay, so we're going to runway 35. That's lined up with our compass. I should say 354-ish, which worked good. Set our fuel for maximum takeoff. Turn coordinator was verified. Flight controls are free and correct. Okay. That's good. What about our... That works. Take a look outside just for the fun of it. I think we're ready to go. Set my clock. I have my stopwatch on the phone. I don't use the one on the plane. Looks like we're ready to get out of here. We're at a high elevation here. It's going to take a while to get up to speed for rotation. Take it all the way up to about 60 and rotate. A little bit of a stall horn. Try to hit
Bon
75.
voyage, aircrew. We hope to see you again soon.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Continue for north departure.
Saltillo Tower, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Continue for north departure.
Well, nice day in Mexico. A lot of mountains. Probably turn right before hitting that one. Oh, I think I'm going the wrong way here. I have to be on the other side of this mountain.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Okay, frequency change, golf.
Saltillo Tower, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Frequency change.
127.4. This is an interesting part of the Mexico airspace. Is I don't have, it says tune to center, but it doesn't give me the option to contact them because I'm out of the airspace. Now we cleared these mountains. Now we'll make our turn. That looks better. Yeah, that's no good. We're up to 7,500. We're going to set our mixture back to 10 gallons an hour. Turn our mixture back a little bit. Let's see what little nav map has to say. A little off course here is what it has to say. Doesn't look too bad. About 10 miles out. Track should be 4.8. Once we clear these mountains in Mexico, then we can get to some flatter land. I just wanted to do some mountain flying to see if I could do it. Coming into this place was crazy. Felt like I was running in Star Wars pod racers or something. Turn our landing light off. Check with our compass. That checks out. Everything's in the green. Let's see if we could dial back our fuel a little bit just to get a little more mileage. Everything looks pretty good. I should choose a button for all that. For views. And we're going to go and heading will be 064. Reset our checklist. This is fun. I just love flying these VR. VFR flights. We go 064. It's funny, this is my first broadcast. My son, he's trying to get into broadcasting a little bit, and I also watch guys on YouTube, and I'm just feeling like I want to put something out there that just for my own knowledge, that I could produce a video. I thought that would be a neat idea. There's people out there that actually get monetized and make livings doing this stuff. And where's my airspeed going? So they get monetized and create content that people can come back to later. I follow some pilots or some YouTube guys like Hudson. There's Island Sim Pilot, A380 driver, A320 driver. A lot of good Microsoft Flight Simulator content out there. Now, I don't put myself up there with those guys. They're professional broadcasters, or at least they have a lot more experience. So just trying to get started here, see what happens. And if the sound isn't very good, I'm sorry. That'll be an adjustment. Maybe I should enable the chat and you guys can tell me. I'm going to watch this later and just see how it is. So our next stop, let's see what we're doing here. So busy blabbing, I'm not paying attention to my route. I'm looking at SkyVector, so let's put that on just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So we just cleared these big mountains. There's this mountain past this roadway, and we are trying to go right over the top of these little mountains in front of us. We have plenty of elevation. Once we get clear of there, we're going to intercept this roadway. I guess this is a roadway. There'll be a river to our right, and I have this outlined as Mini Mountain on right. So that looks like, let's find this Mini Mountain right here. That's our Mini Mountain. So no, that's not the Mini Mountain. The Mini Mountain is probably way down here. That's a bigger mountain. That's about 6,000 feet. Let's check our course. We should be running a course of 064. Running 059. Make an adjustment. Track 068, so that'll put us back on course. So we're 4 over. The wind today should be 360 at 13. So we're actually getting a wind from the left side. Look at all those people down there. Wow. Hope you like brown. Gotta like the color brown to live here. Oh, that's the FS Realistic throwing in some sounds. The pilot sneezing, that does sound like me, so pretty accurate. Should be back on course, so we'll dial this back again to 6.4. This is the best feature in chase plane, is this ability to just hit the flyby. X-Plane did this correctly long ago when I was using that. And it was very difficult in Microsoft Flight Sim to get a good flyby working. It was kind of cumbersome. So this is nice, a lot nicer. Getting a little bumpy. Ooh, what's that? A train? Off the ground? That red thing right there, that's a train hovering over the rail tracks. About, geez, about 100 feet off the ground. Very interesting. Let's see if that belly can picture that. Interesting. I forgot how I used the binoculars. There's a setting for binoculars. I'm afraid to touch anything. Huh, I gotta look right, left, look right. Now I'm outside the plane. Oh, there we go. Yep, there's a train. Off the tracks. Alright, so we should be coming up to the mini mountain. There's our mini mountain. And when we get to our mini mountain, we will turn left to 030. We're also looking for a crossing of a road, and that's it right there. That's our road that we're looking for. I don't know what the name of it is, but who cares? Visual flight rules. Oh, I bet we're in proximity to talk to approach. There we go, Monterey approach 120.4. This should have been done a while ago. So that's why I don't do this for a living. It says 120.4, but I'm on 127. Let's see what's happening here. That didn't work. That's better. No, it's not. Frustrating. Clearly not working right. Well, let's fly the airplane. Go 030. There's our mini mountain. Checkpoint. Reset our timer. On to the next checkpoint. We're going to go for 28 miles. This is a long leg, 28 miles. I know VFR, you want to shorten those things up, but you know what? I got a GPS. I got a map. I got all these internet tools that you don't have. Well, you have ForeFlight in real life, but I'm not using ForeFlight. It's going to be what they would call fat, dumb, and happy today. There's a balance between hardcore mode and then having fun. So this is the having fun part. That should be Monterey next to us. There is an airport out there. That'll be a good opportunity to land if I had an engine failure. That might be the airport off to our right. You see right there where I'm pointing? Let's look to our right here. That's not very good. I gotta get a way to pan around here. I can't pan from these external views. Gotta figure out how these cameras work. Nearest runway, let's see what that does. Ooh. Tower view. Nice day. That would be MMAN, so let's see. Runway view. Parking. Yeah, what do you know? Back to our own flight. See if ATC's alive yet. That's crazy. This ATC is not good. .4 is what I saw the last time. Just doesn't work. Guess we'll close it then. Sorry if I'm making noises in the microphone. I'm not used to having a microphone stuck to my head. So we're going to cross Monterey. Let's see here, ADN 115.4. Let's see where we're at. The VOR should come alive if we turn it off. There we go. We should be roughly north 310 or so from the station. We are at 354, so we're actually further north than I thought. Shouldn't be a surprise where I'm at, but here's the road we're following. We'll go back to the chart, give you a peek where we're at. I was looking at this VOR MAN. Whoa, not supposed to be moving that. Better. Looking at the VOR Roberto Monterey, ADN 115.4. Morse code. As soon as I figure out how to use my radios, identify that. What I was trying to show you is I'm trying to look for this road. We're going to follow this road, and that's what's in our sim. I'll show you in a second. Looking for this little town right in the kink, which should be... So here's the road, and here's our little town I think we're looking for, that little yellow blotch northeast of Monterey. Let's see if we can find this identifier by looking at our instruments. COM2 radio is what that would be. You got to adjust that that view because I can't see. Whoa! Up or down? That's better. Save that. So it's nice you could do this on the fly. So then I can click on column 2. Let's see if I can hear anything. Turn up our volume. Can't seem to turn up the volume here, but I can hear it faintly. It's going boop 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 boop. There's my impression of a VOR signal. So maybe I'm not doing it right. Well, let's go back to column 1 in case somebody needs to talk to me. We should be 030. Fat, dumb, happy. Getting a little cloudy. Beauty of doing this on a simulator is I can fly in the clouds and nobody has to know. Ha ha. So I don't think I'm going to be 1,000 feet above that. I'm not sure. A sip of my favorite beverage. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of life down there. Let's see what our iPad is telling us. This is pretty neat. This is a big difference for the prior simulator. 2020 didn't have this built into the sim, so if you don't have all these other tools I'm using, you could still use this. And works pretty good. There's our route performance. Let's see, anything on charts? Clipped charts, airport charts, Laredo, AFD, not AFD, AFC, airport facility. That's probably a ground chart. Oh yeah, there we go. That's pretty neat. Let me figure out where to park. See, the thing is that even if you use real world charts, sometimes the frequencies aren't correct. So we could verify that. The frequency I have for the tower is 120.1, so that checks out. 8 is 775, that's good. We won't use the CTAF. Ground 0.8, and we won't use Unicom. When we arrive, this is a big airport. We have an apron, terminal. Is there an FBO? That's the terminal, probably. No, that's... Alright, general aviation hangars. This is where I would probably need to go. We'll talk to them when we get there. And I missed my my turn. Not paying attention. Not too bad though. Like I said, fact I'm happy, right? That should be kind of a low point between these mountains. So we got, let's see what the belly cam looks like. Got a lot of air coming off. Should be going I didn't do that on purpose. Hmm. 040 045. The nice thing about VFR, you get to go visual. And let's see what we're looking for. This is a 61-mile leg. That's a long one. Again, you probably wouldn't do that in real life. But honestly, if you look at this chart, there's nothing out here. That's our turn to 045 after we cross the roadway and the tracks and fly a little bit over this mountain. And there's a lot of nothing here in Mexico. This is all just opportunities to crash, not hit any human beings, I guess. Well, there is a waterway there, but that's not on the map. That's what happens when you use SkyVector outside the United States. There's just not a lot of detail. See, now as soon as we get into the United States, where just for proximity, there's Texas. And let's take note of this body of water here, by the way. We call this the Gulf of America. Love it or hate it, that's what it's called. So saith the FAA. So we're going to continue on this course, and we're going to look for entry to the United States over this lake, whatever this big body of water is, and we're going to cross over 83 into the Zapata, town of Zapata. And then we'll make a left and we'll look for this wind farm. So we got a little ways to go yet. Oh, Zapata, there's a bridge. We're going to be looking for this bridge. That was my VFR. It's not a waypoint, but it's a VFR checkpoint that I made for myself. Let's see how we're doing here. That's a significant waterway or whatever to not be on a map. Well, again, I guess back to the United States, there's probably other mapping software you could use. But my primary one, SkyVector, is it's a resource. It's free. Gives you the ability to plan your flight and get real charts. So it's hard to argue that. Now we're getting on a low fuel call, which we expected that. We're in cruise mode. I only put 26 gallons because that's what I calculated. And I want to see how close I am to the real number. And if we run short, which I don't expect to, we still have opportunities to land. We don't know what the altimeter should be, but that's because we're not in contact with approach. ATC's not working. So we're going to look for our own approach. How's that? Let's do that. So we'll look for the nearest pilot, which should be, or nearest airport. We'll look for that as Zapata County, which is AWAS 118.225. Just dial that in. Put it on column 2. See if anything comes in. That's 3. That's 2. Or we can go column 1 and 2. It should default to 2 because so we're out of range, most likely, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, just learned something. I can scroll through those buttons. This is chase plane, so you just scroll, and it'll just go to the back to the last one you used, I think. All right, cool. Good stuff. This 61-mile leg should take, I have 16 and a half minutes. Sixteen and a half minutes. We're 43 miles out. That doesn't seem right. My calculation for 16 and a half is not correct. It's telling us probably 24 minutes to go. Let's get our whiz wheel out. I dropped something. See that? You dropped something in your airplane. You gotta reach around for it. Alright, here we go. 61 miles. We're going just for fun here. We are going 110, 107. I didn't take into consideration the temperature. But we're going to just say 110 for ease of this exercise. Set our whiz wheel to 110 and we look at the outer, which, and I'm talking about an E65B, I think, commonly known as the whiz wheel flight computer. You get this in your private pilot kit when you sign up. So 61 miles, distance outer. Oh yeah, that's a 30-minute. That's a 33-minute leg. So I had that wrong in my flight log. So that would make sense that we still have 22 minutes remaining. And we still have, let's see, we still have 39 miles, nautical miles, and the ground speed is 106. I said 110, right? 106 is close. And I actually planned 107. My flight log, let's see, see what my flight log says. So we're on this leg that is blah 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 61 miles, and that should be a 33 minutes, what we said. But I calculated 95 miles an hour based on a wind of 13 miles an hour from 360. So that's a northerly wind. That's a headwind. Very interesting. So we're actually getting better performance than the 92 that I was expecting. We'll go back to the flight sim. We should still be going for a true course, or a course of 045, and we are at 051. So So we're off to the right, which I could see on the, just to confirm, we'll just make an adjustment here. And so if we go less than 45, we should continue to be back on course. So if you go to our center radio, now I'm at 042. That'll get us closer to that purple line. Don't want to make any major adjustments. We're doing fine. That's a 5-mile nautical window there. I mean, if we zoom out of that, we'll probably be pretty good. If you look at the 15 or 20, that's 20 miles. That's still pretty good. And we're going to be entering a new airspace, it looks like. So I think that's a I think it's Echo. It's controlled airspace in Mexico, which is a different. This green line right here is entering a crossing over a controlled airspace. The airspace we're in starts at 2,500, goes up to 19,500. We're at 7,500, so the new airspace is same, 2,500 to 19,500. In the United States, this would be Class Echo, being at 7,500, which goes all the way up to Class A, which is 18,000. We don't have to worry about getting up to 18,000 in this little plane. And look at our instruments again, check our fuel flow. 10 gallons an hour, that's what I expected. We probably have about 12 gallons left. So we're using more fuel than I expected, probably because of all the blabbing I was doing on the runway at Quasi-Modal or whatever that airport was. Maybe I should tune that back a little bit, try to get 8 out of it. Hear the engine note. Change. Exhaust gas temperature. I could probably explain what I'm looking at there. So this exhaust gas temperature, this is, you want to lean it out so that it doesn't foul the plugs, but it's not really intuitive on this model. The more you tune it up, it's very small adjustments, the higher the exhaust gas temperature, EGT, gets. Right here. But since I'm trying to conserve fuel a little bit, I just want to be a little bit under that 10 mark. And this is a placeholder you can set. I don't know what else you would use this for except mark where you were, like that. So later in the flight, if this thing moves, you can see where your lean of peak is, I guess they would call it. I'm not positive of that. And now we should be back on course. I think we said course is 045 with according to my wind calculation, it was -6, which would put us at 039. Looking at our compass says nearly 040, so we need to adjust our compass. And when we do that, it's going to change our heading. But get the compass fixed, and then we'll change the heading back to 045. Well, it should say 040 or 039 is what I calculated. So let's see how we did. Go back to our instruments. So heading indicator says 040, and our track is 046, which is actually, well, 47. The heading is supposed to be 045 as a track. That's pretty awesome. That is some good flying there. Good GPS navigation skills. Hey, give me a break. I can't get a camera to get a good view of this compass. I can read it, but let's see if ATC is back. Anything productive? Ooh, 125.6. Let's see if we can do that. We'll go back to channel 1. See if we can get back in the good graces of ATC. Nope. Dumb. Now I'm on 125.6. It's not working right. We try COM 2. It's just not working. Oh well. Flight following, and this isn't very good anyway. Where's our areola plane? There it is. I'm going to cross the United States border pretty shortly, and there's our lake we were looking for. A big body of water. That's good news. And since we are not talking to ATC, we might as well dial up our tower for Laredo. ATIS 125775. So that's our ATIS, and then a tower is going to be 120.1. Getting pretty busy in the cockpit here. And we should be approaching our waypoint pretty soon. Laredo 117.4. I'll dial that in. And that'll be 341. That's the approach course to Laredo, the Laredo VOR, 341. That's going to be what we're looking for next. Just for confirmation, let me see here. No, I'm a little off course. Not going to be Laredo direct? Yes, it is. So, when we see this OBS, the needle's going to swing in. So we're off to the left of the VOR. And when that comes into center, we will be directly on course, well, at least from the radial. At 340. So when we intercept 340 radial, we're going to turn to 340 to the station. That's not a radial, that's the radial is actually the reciprocal of that, 341.261.
Laredo Airport information, Charlie, 1600 Zulu.
Hey, we got an ATIS.
6 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 1 tree. Dew point -4.
You can write down our ATIS.
3067. Visual runway tree 6 right and visual runway tree 6 left in use. Landing and departing runway tree 6 right and runway tree 6 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
Let me get that again.
Advise controller on initial contact you have Charlie.
Charlie.
Laredo Airport information, Charlie, 1600 Zulu. Wind tree 6 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear.
Clear.
Temperature 1 tree.
1
Dew
3.
point -4.
-4.
Altimeter tree 067. Visual runway tree 6 right and visual runway tree 6 left in use. Landing and departing runway
Altimeter
tree 6 right and runway
3067.
tree 6 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instruction.
Well, we can at least set our altimeter. It's been a while. 3067. I'm going to hold that down, 3067. Now we're in the United States. 30669. So that's 699? 67. 669. That's a 67 in my world. Again, we just crossed over into the United States, so we should have no, it's on the backside of this body of water. We should be looking for the F-16s. Yeah, they're coming over the country. We should be greeted by the military I don't know if there's a customs airport I should be landing at, but good thing I got my passport. That needle should start moving. And when it does, we'll turn 341. And as that happens, we're also going to start descending to 60,500 because we will now be going west. So we'll lose 1,000 feet to stay within the VFR flight rules. Now that we're going to be going to the west, we have to descend. No boats. We're looking for crossing Interstate 83 at Zapata. Where's that bridge we were looking for? Our needle's nearly centered. The bridge should be right there. No bridge. Our needle is nearly centered, and we are almost at our waypoint. And I think I said 33 minutes. We're approaching 32 mark. So we're a minute off. I'd say our calculations are pretty good here. That's good news. Our needle is centered. But we're going to wait for the GPS, and then we'll just recenter our radio VOR signal. I'm going to turn off the autopilot in a minute and start our descent. Once we get turned, so we could do that now. Sometimes this freaks out if I touch the trim wheel. Yep, a little bit. Just aim down a little bit. Turn the autopilot back on to force vertical speed. Do our heading, hit arm, and I think we're in good shape. 500 feet per minute until we hit 6,500. Oh, there's the bridge we were looking for. That's it right there. We've reached our waypoint. I'm just going to wait for the GPS to tell us. Even though I know we're here, we can start the turn. Turn to the north, 340. Very cool. This is why I enjoy this stuff. It's just crazy how I'll turn that back on. So here's that bridge we were looking for. Zapata. There's 83. Interstate 83. Right there. 83, I'm looking at it. I'm sorry, you're not looking at it. But trust me, and then we should see Zapata County Airport dead ahead. There's 83. Zapata County Airport should be off to our right a little bit. We're going to be starting our descent pretty shortly. Just a short, I'm going to be looking for a little more fuel mileage, I guess. I guess you wouldn't be talking like that in real life. You wanted to say you want more fuel mileage. Let's go. This says $310, 338. I don't know, 338. Let's call it. The key is that we're headed for the station, and that station is, I don't have it plugged in. I don't have it plugged into the main. I have it plugged into the secondary nav radio, so it's not reporting the distance. But if you go to flight plan, Laredo, that'll be, I guess they add these together, 32, 33 miles out. This pilot's got to use the toilet pretty soon. We're going to have to land pretty soon. This should be our top of descent. We're looking for a little body of water. It's on the VFR map. Let's see, here's that airport. Let's see if we can see it. Huh. Says we were over it. There it is. Hope you saw it. Went by quick. There's some of the solar farm or wind farm we were talking about. That's on our VFR chart. So we just crossed over the Zapata County Airport, and we're going to be crossing over this wind farm. And then we're going to look for these little blobs of water. And that'll be our top of descent. We're back down to 6,500. Our next elevation we're looking for is going to be 1,800 at the VOR, but we're looking for 1,500. The field elevation is 508 at Laredo. We'll tune into our ATIS again and see if anything has changed regarding runway.
Laredo Airport information, Charlie 1600 Zulu. Wind tree 6 at
Still on
11.
Charlie.
Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,000, few clouds at 5,300. Temperature 1 tree.
Ah.
Dew point -4. Altimeter treater 67. Visual runway tree 6 right and visual runway tree 6 left in use.
They changed the
Landing
weather,
and
but they didn't
runway tree
update
6
the.
right and runway tree 6 left.
We have Charlie. It's still the
VFR
same as what it
aircraft
was.
same direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
I wonder
Advise controller on initial contact you have Charlie.
if that's normal.
Laredo Airport information, Charlie 1600 Zulu. Wind tree 6 at 11.
A few at 1,000.
Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,000, few clouds at 5,300. Temperature 1 tree. Dew point -4. Altimeter treater 67. Visual runway tree 6 right and visual runway tree 6 left in use.
So there we go. A little schmizzle schmazzle in the distance. It's my code word for shimmer. There's our wind farms. Oh, and there is our water that we're looking for. I'm going to look for the third body of water, which I think is up here. That is good stuff. And we're looking to be 17 miles away from our VOR. So that would make sense. As soon as we hit this waypoint, we get ready to land. So cruise descent is going to be fuel selected both, mixture full rich. Ooh, we're okay with the rich for now. We're still 6,500. Power is required. Carb heat is required. Instruments are checked. We've obtained the ATIS and we've set our altimeter to 3067. 3067 is good. Gas is good. Undercarriage good. Mixture props. Mixture is not ready to be set yet. We're still full. Still getting low fuel, but there's still 8 gallons left at least. That's worse than I hoped for. But 8 gallons at let's say 10 gallons an hour, that's still within the 45-minute of required additional fuel. I think I called for 45 minutes. I put an hour in. because I don't know what the fuel, there's no POH for this thing online, or in the sim, I don't think. I'll have to check on that. Operating handbook, I should say. And we're going to reach our top of descent pretty soon. About 3 miles out from our top of descent. There's our bodies of water. Yeah. Little guy right there. Got another one right there. And we're going to start our descent, go down to 90 knots, and we're going to go down at 500 feet per minute. That'll take us to 1,800 at the VOR, which is 17 nautical miles away from this point. And then turn left into Laredo, contact tower, lose another 300 altitude to 1,500 pattern altitude, and we will get instructions to probably land straight in, runway 36 left or 36 right. We'll make our call since we're going to the top of descent. We'll verify that we have Charlie. Getting a little cloudy. But we're at 120.8. And let's see if we can dial them up. Nearest airport. Laredo. Full stop landing.
Tower, Cessna Alpha, Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, is 2 miles south, 6,500. Charlie, clan.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra.
Haha!
Airport is currently IFR.
IFR. Come on! You have to be kidding. Said sky clear. See, now this is just not right. I might have to put my alternate airport in use here. Let's see what the weather says at. See, on the sky vector it says 10 statute miles clear. Airport request denied. Wonder if I can get a pop-up IFR clearance.
Houston Center, Cessna Alpha, Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, is typing Cessna Skyhawk, 9 miles southeast of Tango, Echo Tree 2, 6,500. Request flight following. Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Houston Center, squawk 0516.
0516.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, did you copy? Squawk 0516, Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Let me see.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Radar contact 8 miles southeast of Tango Echo Tree 2, 6,200. Altimeter tree 064.
064.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Let's try this again. Laredo.
information Charlie 1700 Zulu. Wind tree 6.
Tower, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is 17 miles south, 5900, with Charlie to land.
Cessna Alpha Sierra
Ugh,
X-Ray Golf
still,
Sierra.
this is crazy.
Tower, airport is currently IFR. Request denied.
All right, well, I guess we'll go to our alternate. Quasimodo, Quetzalcoatl. 127.8.
Laredo Airport information Delta 1700 Zulu. Wind tree 6 at 11. Visibility 10.
Echo Tree 2.
Sky condition feeling 1000 broken. Temperature 13.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra, Houston Center. Squawk 6245. Squawk 6245. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
6.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Radar contact 7 miles east of Tango Echo Tree 2, 5200. Altimeter tree 064.
3064.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
I guess we'll go to Quetzal, hit up their tower. That's so we were looking at 90 knots. We're on course, a little bit to the left, but that's okay because we're not going to land at this place. Because they're not going to allow us to land. So we will go to Quetzal. We will brief that. So let's see here. They have runway 14, runway 32, and their tower is 118.30. See that? Good thing we have that planned. So when we get to Laredo, the VOR, we're going to hit heading of 201. Should have our landing light on, and we should have since we're descending, we'll set our mixture a little bit richer. Undercarriage mixture prop. Come on, that's VFR enough. I don't think it's VFR enough for ATC though. Running a little fast. Look for runway 32. So we ought to dial them up 118.3 and give them a call. Go back into Mexico. Craziness. Nearest airport. Quasimodo. Whoa! Request full stop.
Nuevo Laredo Tower. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 10 miles east 3,400 to Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra, Nuevo Laredo Tower. Altimeter tree 064. Fly left downwind runway 14.
Left downwind, runway 14.
Enter left downwind runway 14. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
We can just go MMNL direct. Let's see how that goes. Direct, enter, activate, 271. And we are looking for left downwind, runway 14. Their field elevation is 484, so same 1500 above sea level will be pattern altitude. So when we get there, we'll head in it. We'll turn a course to 320 for the left downwind for 14. Speed down a little bit. We want to be about 90. Our light is on. Fuel is set to rich. Full rich. I'm going to dial up. I don't think they have a ground. They'll let us know. A little slow here. Still don't see the field. I think I do. Right in front of us. 2 miles out. We'll fly 320. Yeah, we could run a long final here, or a long downwind. There's the field. We're just about there. And when we get on the ground, what are we going to do? 1-4, Across the midpoint. Our speed is good. Disconnect the air autopilot and get configured. 320. Yeah, we shouldn't be diving yet. We are beam the runway. Set our flaps. Flaps 1.
X-ray Golf Sierra. Wind tree fight 4 at 8. Clear to land runway 14.
Clear to land runway 14.
Clear to land runway 14. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Gas undercarriage mixture props. Flaps. Flaps 2, we're going to slow down a little bit. Off center line, we'll fix it. You can always go around. You can always go around. Or you can have get there-itis. A little high, that's a long runway. That's a long runway, we're good. Let the energy bleed off. Bleed.
That was a harder landing than I'd like to see, pilot.
Ugh.
Contact ground for your parking assignment, then shut down your engine.
Didn't even get a
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Turn next taxiway.
This thing has a tendency to want to tip over. That's not really what, I just don't think that's what it feels like in real life. Taxiway is behind us.
Cessna Golf Sierra. Turn next taxiway.
Yes, sir. Turn next taxiway, X-Ray Golf Sierra. Taxiway is off to our right.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Exit runway when able.
Exiting runway when able. X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Contact ground on 118.3.
118.3 X-Ray Golf Sierra. Let me clean up the airplane.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Did you hear my last transmission?
Yes.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
We're there already, okay. Taxi to parking.
Nuevo Laredo ground. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to parking.
Strobe can come
Cessna
off.
Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha.
Taxi General via Alpha X-Ray Sierra Golf.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
I got my call sign right, that would help. It's not even written on the dash. Give me a break. I'm gonna have to write it on a post-it or something. Pay attention to our ground speed. So our passenger. Yeah, as I was saying before, this thing wants to tip over when you get on the runway. It's really odd. I've never had an airplane do that unless you're in really high winds. This one's kind of strange though, ground characteristics. Big mambo jumbo's there. Oh, we should stop at the fuel. There's a fuel station right there. We're going to need that. Oh, let's go where they told me to. Close enough. Taxi light come off. Got brakes. Avionics are off. Mixture's off.
Looks like everyone is on board, pilot. Let's get out of here.
On board, we're trying to depart. Fuel can go off. So, let's see how we did here. All right, we've arrived. Well, I think that's the, we have success. Let's check out little nav map to see how we did on our flight path. So little nav map. So we got diverted right when we were entering. This is pretty neat. So our path disappeared. No, it's the gray thing, I think. Not bad, right? And then we got halfway to Laredo. They declined our entry due to IFR conditions. So we called up the tower in Mexico for Quetzalcoatl. And we got diverted. We went left downwind for runway 14, got cleared to land, and here we are. So little nav maps, free program, really awesome. I'm still learning how to use this too, but you have it hooks directly with your flight sim, and it's really impressive. So I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. I enjoyed making it. Now I can continue my weekend, do the 6 loads of laundry that I haven't been getting done, and you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the next one.